Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it is finally time for the Black Ops 7 beta video. There is going to be very little editing here because the raw gameplay pretty much speaks for itself. If you thought Black Ops 6 was bad in terms of cracked out movement, in terms of tiny maps, in terms of horrendous spawn logic, or even in terms of doors, then you haven't seen anything until you've witnessed the absolute dumpster fire that is Black Ops 7 gameplay. There are some redeeming factors to the game, sure, but the core design of Black Ops 7 is absolutely terrible, and did I not call this? Like right from the very first day, when we saw those leaks of movement changes in Black Ops 6, I called it that Black Ops 7 would be exactly like Black Ops 6, but worse because of the randomness and the chaos of the movement will only make the matchmaking system even worse. I also told you guys that the beta is always the sweatiest time of year, and that's not like it's a bold prediction or anything, it's just a straight up fact, but what we see here in Black Ops 7 really does take the cake. You cannot move, you cannot breathe, you cannot take a moment to scratch your balls in this game without having 3 people shooting at you from 4 different angles. Every single room in the game has 4 doorways and a window to get into it. It is such chaos. The maps are currently available, of which I think there are 3, are absolutely horrible. They feel like face-off maps. They are so up close, they're so condensed, they're so random, and it's made even worse by the fact that one of Treyarch's top guys straight up lied to us with their marketing, or at the very least, they misled the entire Call of Duty community. You guys might remember Matt Schranz, right? Senior design director or something like that over at Treyarch. He literally told us that they removed a lot of the doors from the game. They removed a lot of doors. He did say there would be some automatic doors, but they are freaking everywhere and they absolutely ruined the flow of the game. In fact, let's take a quick listen to exactly what he said.
Doors? Question mark.
In Black Ops 7 multiplayer, there are no manual doors. We do have some automatic doors. At the start of development, our goal was to drastically reduce the number of manual doors. About halfway through, we did a door count, so then we had a door meeting. And we said,
behind closed
doors. And then I kicked the door down and I said, let's delete all of these doors.
So when they said no manual doors and reducing the amount of doors in the game, we all thought it would be a good thing. They directly mentioned Drone from Black Ops 2, a map that did have manual doors back in the day, but in total the map had like 3 of them on the entire map, yet here in Black Ops 7, they're absolutely everywhere, and dare I say it, and this is painful to admit, but the doors in the Infinity Ward games are actually better than what we see in Black Ops 7. Joe Seacott's freaking Door Emporium is actually better than the complete bullshit that we see in this game, because not only are doors everywhere, but they're automatic, which means that they are closed by default. It's not like you can just run through these doors and now they're open until somebody manually shuts it. No, they automatically close, meaning that virtually every 20 feet, depending on the map, there is a closed door that you either need to run through or stare at and wait for somebody else to run through. What's on the other side of that door, you may ask? Nobody knows. It's a complete crapshoot, and it causes even more chaos in a game that was already built from the ground up to be as chaotic as humanly possible. If these were the medium-sized maps they were talking about, then somebody needs to bring a ruler to the studio and take these developers back to kindergarten levels of measuring, because whatever they're using simply is not working. On top of the brain rot maps and the Adderall driven movement, the matchmaking makes everything worse, and you guys know it's bad when the people who were at COD Next, right, they were there facing other YouTubers and actual pro players. Those people are saying that the beta is super sweaty compared to what they experienced at COD Next. I said this at the very beginning of my review of the multiplayer reveal, that what we saw at Call of Duty Next would be a 1-to-1 representation of what the beta was going to be like, because that's how dialed in skill-based matchmaking is. And mind you, they're still carrying over your skill data from Black Ops 6, meaning that you're gonna have the exact same lobbies in the beta as you do in the actual game, right? So for me personally, I'm still stuck in the hellacious lobbies from back when I was actually playing COD back in December of 2024. I even booted up Black Ops 6 last night just to get a screenshot of my settings, make sure everything's all squared away and everything, and I played one match. I'm like, screw it, just throw me in the nuke town, let's see if I can still aim and everything. And of course, there were platinum players in the lobby. I suppose that's a step up from the iridescent players I normally have to play against, but then when I opened up the beta, it was the exact same thing, man. They have everything on us. They measure everything from how much you run to how much objective time you normally have to your accuracy, your kills, your perk setups. Everything is being tracked down to the decimal, so no matter what, you are always playing people either just like you or people with stats just like yours. And the worst part about it is, for me, I don't even play the game like some brain-rotted degenerate, you know? I'm not constantly movement god sliding around the map or breaking camera angles. I don't have a Scuff sponsorship. I don't have a G Fuel IV drip into my arm. I'm just playing Call of Duty normally, right? I'm jumping on the objective. I'm dropping 70 kills. But because I can do that, I have to play against the World Series of TikTok Superstar Squad every single match. And it's just not fun, man. It's brainless. It's mind-numbing. It's an exact representation of everything wrong with Call of Duty as a franchise, all condensed down into one singular experience. And speaking of everything wrong with Call of Duty, the game itself doesn't even work right now, and it's clear that the developers did not test any of this stuff, so let's go ahead and take a look at that next. So when it comes to Black Ops 7, they told us that it was developed side by side with Black Ops 6, and that is incredibly apparent because all the problems with Black Ops 6 are right here within the beta already. We already talked about the matchmaking, but because of that, we already have people reverse boosting in the beta. That's really nice to see. We have people backing out like crazy, even though Activision claims, you guys remember this? Activision claims the whole reason why they keep skill-based matchmaking is for player retention, because people back out too much when they're not having fun, therefore skill-based matchmaking makes them have more fun. Then why is everyone backing out like crazy, Activision? You don't understand your own community or your own game franchise. And on top of all of that, we have cheaters already flooding the Black Ops 7 servers. Now, I'm not a highly educated man. The intricacies of game development and the finer points of deep learning, AI, and cybersecurity are lost upon me. But how in the world, explain like I'm 5, how in the world can these people think that having the same game made by the same developers with the same anti-cheat would yield anything other than the exact same results? We are literally just playing a DLC to Black Ops 6. It's all the same. The only difference is the wall jump, different maps, different guns, and a different font within the main menu. This is the problem with them releasing back-to-back games from the same developers within the same universe. Also, on top of that, what happened to Sledgehammer Games? Like, you guys remember that rumor that Sledgehammer Games was going to be taking over the entire game's multiplayer? Well, it sure doesn't seem that way because everything is the exact same as Black Ops 6, like to the T, except for a few things that are broken. And what's broken, might you ask? Well, if you try to play the game on Battle.net, you can't even boot up the game. Even if you bought the $100 edition, you have to change your region to China to make it work properly. Once you're in the game, the overkill wildcard doesn't even work. It literally won't let you equip anything besides a pistol. And when it comes to the rest of the perks, they are pretty much the exact same ones that we saw in Black Ops 6, but all the essential ones are locked behind levels. And genuinely, I'm curious, whose idea was it to take away manual healing from Black Ops 4? Like, it's one thing that, okay, if you want me to level up to unlock my red perks, to get my red perk bonus, to get quick fix, that's like one thing, right? But what about manual healing? Why was that taken away after Black Ops 4? It should be a default feature. If a game is going to be as fast as what this is, with people flying through the air, sliding across the ground like they're at a freaking Diddy party, having parts of the map moving in circles with a minimum of 10 doors within arm's reach at all times, how in the world aren't stim shots just built into your character by default? Most of my footage here is using the very first default class because it has stim shots by default, and you have to get all the way up to level 17 to unlock stim shots for your class. They are needed. They are 100% necessary to do anything within this game. I mean, there is another default class that has them, but take a look at this, man. This class right here comes with a shotgun, right? And it has this really super cool, fun effect. If you hold down the right trigger, it tightens up your hipfire spread before you shoot. That's pretty neat, right? Well, no, it's not neat whatsoever because all you have to do is put a few extra foot-pounds of energy per second on your right trigger and the gun doesn't shoot. It just charges up and you die. And the same thing is true while aiming down sights. Do they think that everybody playing this game has a controller with trigger stops? Because I got news for you, Treyarch. There is a group of people somewhere in your game between the ones that are drooling on themselves and then the pro players who are drooling on their desks with their freaking forehead cameras that play your game. And just seeing this shotgun and how it works is completely indicative of how out of touch these developers are with not only their community, but the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. The freaking wall penetration doesn't even work right either. Like, look at this clip right here. I spawn in, I immediately take damage. And how? What did he shoot through? Like 30 straight feet of solid steel and stone? The game is a complete disaster so far. It honestly is, and thankfully, the numbers are here to prove it. So I understand that not everybody likes this metric, but it's literally the only one that we have, and from it we can gather some pretty interesting conclusions. On Steam, Black Ops 7, which includes Black Ops 6 and Warzone by the way, only peaked at 74,500 players, and it's been averaging roughly 40 to 50,000 players. Using the previous week of Steam data, we can see that Call of Duty was averaging about 35,000 players, and now it's averaging roughly 50. That's an improvement for sure, but it's nothing compared to the boost that Activision was hoping for. And for some quick context here, Battlefield 6 was averaging hundreds of thousands of players all day, every day, even at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and COD can't even scratch 75,000. Now, of course, there are things like Battle.net and Xbox and PlayStation, but Battlefield has the exact same thing happening. People tend to forget that. People play Battlefield on Steam, sure, but they also play the game on the EA app. Hell, that's where I play Battlefield 2042. It's on the EA app. So just like with COD, Battlefield has its player base divided amongst multiple launchers, but the only thing is, where we can track those numbers, Battlefield is absolutely crushing COD. When it comes to the top selling games on Steam right now, the pre-orders for Black Ops 7 have actually jumped up quite a bit. It's important to remember that pre-ordering right now is one of the only ways you can actually get into the game, but COD did have a jump from number 15 yesterday up to number 5 today, but it's still behind Battlefield. And over on PlayStation, now that the Ghosts of Yotei, did I say that right, game is out, Battlefield is now number 1 and Call of Duty is number 2, which makes perfect sense considering Call of Duty is the number 2 of the FPS genre right now, because Black Ops 7 so far has been an unmitigated disaster, and it's only going to get worse as they try to fix things and change things and add more things to the beta. I mean, for crying out loud here, guys, we are in the year of our Lord 2025, and they cannot get overkill to work properly, which was a perk originally in Call of Duty 4. It's been almost 18 years, and they're still trying to work out and understand the finer points of having 2 primary weapons on your class when the old COD devs had it mastered in 2007. I'm going to wrap the video up on that note. I mean, this game has no heart, has no soul whatsoever. It's pure brain rot. I made it to like level 16 or something like that. I only put a few hours into the game, and honestly, the only reason why I made it that far was chatting with you guys over on the live stream. If I had to play this game on my own, I think that would be a fate worse than death, because genuinely, who finds this stuff fun? After getting home from work or school says, man, I can't wait to boot up Black Ops 7. This game is amazing, because I don't see those people anywhere whatsoever. What I do see is everybody hating on the game, tons of content creators calling out COD, even more creators leaving the Call of Duty scene and pursuing other games, and just in general, I see a sense of apathy coming from the entire community. The craziest part is this is like the beta, man. This is day 1. This is supposed to be all the hype, people loving the game, talking about it. Man, have you seen this new map? This new SMG is awesome. Look at this cool kill streak. But nobody is doing that. Nobody is having fun. Nobody is enjoying the game because it's the same shit as before, but in a different toilet bowl, except this new toilet bowl has a bunch of cracks in it, and the flusher does that thing where it wiggles because there's not quite enough water in the back of the tank. Yeah, basically that. That is Black Ops 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm rambling at this point. I hope you guys all enjoyed my impressions of the Black Ops 7 beta. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Be sure to sub if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.